Hello, I'm Dr. Jim Anderson. Let's talk about reaching an agreement by working together to discover facts. Now, disagreements are a common part of every negotiation. Using their negotiation styles, negotiating techniques, both sides of the table end up seeing things differently. And because of this, their progress towards reaching an agreement can grind to a halt. When something like this happens, one way to address it is to take the time to work with the other side to uncover facts about what is being negotiated. The reason that both sides have their opinions may be based on partial or incomplete information. By working together, it's possible that you may be able to get the negotiations back on track. Joint fact-finding as a part of a negotiation. It turns out that in integrative negotiations, cooperation in joint fact-finding is relatively common. Sometimes the negotiating parties disagree on key facts and forecasts, but lack either the technical or the scientific expertise needed to come to a consensus. Using joint fact-finding as a part of a negotiation is a multi-step collaborative process for bringing together parties in such technical disputes. Rather than hiring experts to analyze the situation, the negotiating parties decide to work together cooperatively and decide how the information should be gathered, analyzed, and interpreted. So, what are the rules for joint fact-finding? If you decide to take this path, then both negotiators need to begin by setting a fact-finding agenda and the ground rules for the process. Together, they decide on the issues that will require technical analysis, the questions that experts should ask, and how best to move forward after receiving a technical analysis. Next, the parties work together to find and select one or more advisors. Advisors present their analysis and various course of action to all negotiating parties involved. To maintain their objectivity, experts should refrain from recommending any particular solution. Joint fact-finding educates both parties about the science behind the issues at stake. In doing so, it can spur agreements that are more creative, credible, harmonious, and lasting than those developed using a traditional adversary science process. Although a shared set of unbiased conclusions does not guarantee that the negotiating parties will come to an agreement, it does ensure that they won't dismiss technical matters out of hand. What we need to keep in mind is that joint fact-finding may not be the right choice if the more powerful or knowledgeable party might seek to use it as a leverage to maintain the power imbalance. In a case like this, an alternative might be to create a joint task force that would collect information and perhaps develop a long-term vision. What all of this means for you. During a principled negotiation, it's always possible that an obstacle may be encountered. Both sides of the negotiation believe that they understand how best to deal with the obstacle, and yet their approaches are very different. When this happens, the chances of reaching a deal can seem to be very far away. One way to deal with a situation like this is to agree to do some joint fact-finding and have both sides work together to uncover facts about what is causing the blockage. The reason that both sides may be willing to participate in a joint fact-finding exercise is because they realize that they don't have all the answers. Joint fact-finding is a collaborative activity. Instead of hiring experts, both sides participate. When taking this approach, it's important to first set an agenda and then some ground rules. The results of this exercise can be that it allows both sides to come up with better agreements than they thought that they could earlier on. This may not always be the right approach for every negotiation. Negotiators need to have a set of tools that they can use when they encounter issues during a negotiation. Joint fact-finding is a powerful tool that can be used to help get parties around something that's blocking a negotiation. By working together, questions can be answered and new solutions can be found. The next time that your negotiation runs into a roadblock, consider using joint fact-finding to find a way around it.